Hey, but what's up? UltraMag64 here, and today, guys, it is time to bring you yet another fantastic episode of the My Little Pony game from Gameloft. Now, if you were expecting me to not talk about the new episode, well, you're in for a bad time. I'm actually going to talk mostly about that episode. This is kind of going to be my thoughts on the episode, I suppose, except it's not going to be its own video. It's going to be crammed into this because I don't know what else to do with it. And boy howdy do I have things to say about the new episode. Boy do I. So as many of you know, I am a huge Starlight Glimmer fan. I like her a lot. And I like how this episode portrays her. She is very well in character, I suppose. One thing that I cannot stand that this show has done since Season 6 started is constantly say that Starlight was evil. She is not evil. Like, that's not a thing. She's not Tyrek. She's not this omnipotent evil person who wanted to do evil things. I mean, yes, she did want to take over Ponyville and ruin Equestria with timelines, but we're ignoring all that. Shut up. Granted, she did make mistakes. I'm not here to say, oh, Starlight was perfect in everything that she did. No, she felt betrayed and hurt over Cutie Marks, and she made a mistake. Granted, that mistake was really bad and really big, and yes, she tried to ruin timelines. However, here's the interesting thing about timelines. They never happened. Like, when you think about it, since Starlight, turned everything back to normal, nothing happened. Basically, the only two ponies who know that she did anything wrong, besides, brainwashing an entire town. That happened. Yes, I will admit that did happen. But besides that, Twilight's the only one that knows that she did anything. She was the only, and Spike, but she's the only one with any remembrance of it. The only one. That's it. She as far, if my memory serves, which we all know my memory is not the best, but if my memory serves, she was the only one to witness Starlight doing that. And when the timelines were put back in order, everything went on like nothing had happened. Time went on. Nobody knew because nobody was there to witness it. So, Starlight basically, if Twilight can keep her big mouth shut, and Starlight can stop saying it, nobody will know. And Starlight can have a brand new beginning. Granted, I believe at the end of Season 5, she went around and told every pony, I think, about it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know why she would, considering the fact that it's null and void! But whatever. Maybe she told everyone that she brainwashed the entire town. I don't know. I don't recall. Exactly. So that's where my logic might be flawed. But I just can't get over the fact that they are saying she's evil. She's not evil. She made a mistake. Guess what? Every pony has made a huge mistake that's destroyed in towns and stuff like that before. Rainbow Dash caused a giant malfunction in Cloudsdale during winter. And you know what? She got off scot-free. So, why is it we're treating Starlight like she's some big, bad, evil being? It's just, I just don't understand it. I just don't. I think that it's dumb for them to write her like that, because that's not what happened. She made a mistake, and she feels bad about it. And that's fine. And she should. She should feel bad about, trying to do that, as pure as her intentions might have been. Because I'll admit, she was emotionally hurt by that. Her best friend left her without much of anything. Like he didn't even write. Nothing. Nada. He cut her off like a bad habit. And that's bad. That's real bad. And I can understand where she comes from when she's like, look, these cute right things, they hurt me. And they hurt a lot of other ponies too. So I'm going to create a safe place where they can be them. And granted, she made a mistake by, keeping her cutie mark and all that jazz, and we already got into that long ago. But it just, I just don't like that they keep saying she's evil. She wasn't evil. And spoiler alert, here we're about to talk about the episode itself. So if you haven't watched the episode yet, I suggest you go watch it. Then come back and watch this. Anyway, so in this episode, Celestia's coming to visit for dinner to check up on Twilight and Starlight. And one of my main problems with this episode is the fact that Twilight seems so obsessed with trying to please her old teacher that she's neglecting her own student. Or trying to do, I wouldn't say, well, she's not a very good teacher in my opinion. Like she's knowledgeable and she's great. But there are certain things that just have been nagging me that she's done. For instance, she doesn't seem to pay much attention to Starlight. Her issues and her problems, she doesn't seem to even acknowledge. For instance, back when the season 5 or season 6 started, Starlight looked like she was in a lot of stress. And Twilight just brushed it off and said, "Oh, no, it'll be fine." It's like, no! No, you don't do that! No! You look at her like, "Starlight, are you okay? You know, how can I help you? Is this too big a step? You know, maybe we need to take baby steps. Something." You know, it's just... Like, she just doesn't seem to acknowledge her students' problems. And it's like, she doesn't seem to talk about her fears, at least as far as the show's covered. She doesn't seem to say that, "Look, you made a mistake, you did this, it was bad, it was pretty bad, Starlight, I'm not gonna lie to you. But you're a different pony now, and it's okay." They don't seem to do that. I don't know if maybe I'm misreading things. That could be on my bad. That could be my bad. But it just feels that way. And I just don't know why they keep doing it. It's like the thing with Sunset when in Rainbow Rocks. They kept, you know, referencing that over and over and over again to the point where it got stale and like, we get it! She made a goof! Stop! Granted, Starlight did come through in the end, but still, it just felt like, why are you hammering home this point? We get it! So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And I'm not gonna knock the episode. I'm not knocking the episode at all. It is a good episode. It's just these minor things really, really got to me. Another thing that really it's a minor nitpick, and it's not indicative of the episode at all. But Mrs. Cake, let's rap for a minute, Mrs. Cake. Okay, good. So, okay, you're making cakes with hoof. Okay, cool. I can appreciate making things by hoof. That's fantastic. But here's the thing. Why would you be so upset that Starlight would put you out of business? Instead of looking at it in that light, maybe, just maybe, now I'm no businessman, I'll admit, but maybe, just maybe you should, I don't know, maybe look at partnering with her? Maybe asking, "Hey, do you want a job? 'Cause you make cakes fast, and that makes our supply a lot higher." Now, granted, there's supply and demand and all that, you know, marketing gobbledygook that I don't know about, but I'm just saying, it's like, you make a cake that takes me like 3 days to make in like 10 seconds. That's good. That's real good. 'Cause then you can like make more cakes and sell them, and then you make more money. I mean, granted, again, I'm no businessman, and I'm not gonna say that, oh, you know, that was a stupid business decision there, Mrs. Cake. Here's why. But I'm just saying, it just doesn't, like, why wouldn't you want that? Why? Is there some racism against magic or something? Is magic just too elitist for these ponies? I don't know. But it just seems like it's like, well, come on, Mrs. Cake. Even I can see that's like, oh, we're about to make a lot of cakes here. So, that's fine. I'll pay you. I'll pay you to keep doing that. Just keep doing that. You make beautiful cakes. And so, I just don't know. I don't know. It just seemed weird. I was like, why not? Why? Now, granted, Starlight, you probably shouldn't, force ponies who don't normally speak a lot to, yap like there's no tomorrow. I mean, granted, that was your goof. That was your goof. The other one, you're totally in the right for. This one, not so much. But anyway, we get to the main thing, which is Starlight meets Trixie, after having a very big stress attack, which I can attribute to that I can relate to. I don't normally go out much, and when I do, I get very, very stressed out, especially around new peoples. So I can understand that. Starlight, you and me, we're kindred spirits, basically. I think that's why I root for you a lot of the time. But regardless, she meets Trixie. Trixie goes on about, oh man, I was quote-unquote emo. Even though granted, again, yeah, you did the wrong thing by enslaving Ponyville. However, Starlight's kind of got you one-upped there. So, you kind of weren't so much evil as just kind of a nuisance, I suppose, because you kind of just affected Ponyville and basically was like, Twilight, haha, I win, bye. And not Starlight. Gosh darn it, I've said Starlight now so much. I'm like on Starlight on the brain. But Trixie's like, look, I did all those things because I'm jealous of Twilight. Because, let's see, the first time they met, Twilight showed her up real bad by carrying an Ursa Minor all the way back to its cave, but through various magical abilities. I wonder why she'd feel this way. So, yeah, she reveals that, and here's the thing, Twilight. Here's where you done goof again with being a teacher. You're so obsessed with pleasing your own teacher and showing, hey, look, I'm improving. I'm being just like you. I'm making a student of my own and doing all this stuff, which is fine, I guess. If you want to show that, hey, look, I'm able to do this, very good and very well, I can do this, that's fine. I got no qualms with that. What I do have qualms with is the fact that you just seem so obsessed with that you're not paying attention to your student. And here's the thing. Originally, I was very, very upset with Twilight in this episode. Now, I'm not as upset because I watched it a second time and was like, oh, okay. Twilight does have good intentions. She's looking out for her pupil because she's like, look, Trixie might be a bad influence on you. However, the thing is from what I remember of the Magic Duel episode, they buried the hatchet. They were completely fine. Like Twilight was fine, Trixie was fine, she ran off into the sunset, tripped over her butt and whatever, and it was fine. And now they've got this animosity towards each other again? What the heck? What's going on here? It struck me as odd. It struck me as odd. And it kind of reinforces a interesting thing that I think that maybe the show unintentionally may have brought about, which is, say I get sent to jail for I don't know, laundering horses. Let's just go with that. Say I get sent to jail for laundering horses. Well, guess what? That gets put on my permanent record. You know how hard it is to find a job after that? You know how hard it is to get people to trust you again after that? And granted, I might be like, it might not have been all my fault. Or whatever. Circumstances, whatever the heck. Words. But, it kind of speaks, there really isn't people don't forgive you. People don't forget. Like, for instance, the ponies who were, mumbling sweet nothings about Trixie when, they were passing by her stand and stuff. It's it's interesting to see that ponies and people don't seem to forget or forgive very often. They're not willing to give you a second chance most of the time, and you have to find a special person to give you a second chance. And I know I'm kind of not going as deeply as I probably could with this, mainly because there's a lack of information for me, because again, I've never been in prison. I don't know how that feels. I only know through, articles and media and other stuff like that. So I don't entirely know how that feels. And honestly, I hope I don't know how that feels. But I feel for the people who do, legitimately want to get a second chance and can't. Because they can't be forgiven because of whatever. It hurts, and it hurts, seeing that. Because it's like, if you legitimately are trying to better yourself and people still don't forgive you, that's on them, in my opinion. And Trixie's legitimately trying. She's like, look, I know I messed up, and here I'm doing this whole apology to her, which, more likely than not, Trixie's like, nah, all proceeds are going donated towards charity, because I'm an awesome horse like that. Because Trixie is best horse, obviously. Because she's so great and powerful. And there are a lot of problems I have with the episode, and I'm not going to say it's a bad episode, because it wasn't. It was very good. Twilight does show that, I'm new at this whole teacher thing, and I'm going to make mistakes. And she does. She has made a bunch of mistakes, and I feel like what the show needs to do is have Celestia step in at some point. Celestia needs to be like, look, Twilight, you're doing a good job, but here's a lesson you still need to learn. Something. Because it's like, the show right now is teaching that, even teachers can learn new things, and even teachers are constantly learning from even their mistakes. It's like, teachers aren't perfect. And that's fine. That's a good lesson to teach kids. And adults, I suppose. Because I think the show is realizing that, there is more than just little kids watching this show. There might be adults or even teachers or whatever. And I feel like they're trying to cater their lessons to not only apply to kids, but also apply to adults as well. At least if I'm reading things correctly, which I might not be. I might be over-speculating things. I might be reading too much into things and over-analyzing, because I have a tendency to do that. But it is just, Twilight, I want you to be a good teacher, but, and I get it, being a teacher is hard. Finding that good balance, and even I've had this problem when, I work in retail, and I have to sometimes train people. And finding that good balance between holding their hand and letting them go and make their own mistakes and learn from them is hard. That's very hard to find a good balance between that. And so I completely can understand where Twilight's coming from, where it's like, I'm not exactly sure how to do this, but here's what I know, and here's how I learn things. And that's good, but I feel like she needs to, learn more or something. I don't exactly have an answer for Twilight's teacher problem, but I don't know, I feel like there is one there and it needs to be solved. And I really hope that further down the line we see that. I get that Starlight has issues, especially, it seems like she has some sort of social anxiety almost. The way she reacts to things and the way she gets stressed out. And it doesn't seem like the show or anyone really is tackling that issue. They're not telling her like that's okay, because it's like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but a lot of people have anxiety issues, and a lot of people have like problems socially. Like, they could be socially awkward, or they could be like legitimately have social anxieties. And I feel like if a show, if My Little Pony did try and tackle that issue, it'd be really, really cool. Because it'd show, like, especially if done right. Let me say that. If done right, because the show actually did say, what if we made a same-gender couple? Like, I believe somebody somewhere said, like, Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash, which, I didn't expect them, but okay, Flutterdash it is, that's fine. But they did say if they did do something like that, it's like, you'd have to do that very well. And that, I think, is what's stopping them from doing it. That, and maybe they don't want to. But it just feels like, you know, they need to, like, as the show is growing and stuff, they're taking steps to further make it more, like, the lessons aren't just little kid-like lessons like, you know, oh, don't steal, it's wrong. You know, they are deeper lessons, and they are getting deeper, and that's good. That's good. You're learning to grow with the audience that you originally started with in 2010. Fantastic. And I just hope that they keep growing on the on more mature lessons and learning and showing more things. This season in general, I'm hoping that Twilight learns and helps Starlight instead of doing what she did in this episode, where she just kind of doesn't seem to trust Twilight and shows that nobody's going to give you a second chance. And that's not true. But anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on enough about that. I haven't even done the friendship things. I haven't even done what I'm supposed to do. I got so caught up in it. So real quick, we're going to run down our inbox real quick and show all the cool people who add me. And give you a big thank you. So we've got Queen Knight. We've got Sweetie Pants. I'm also not going to make jokes because, again, we're overtime as is. So here we go, lightning round. Then we've got Daniels Guska. That's words. Uncle Daisy. Caring Day. Oh no. Joe Pie. Maine Cookie. Cherry Star. Blue Cake. Photo Daisy. Goldie Pie. Sophie Ware. That's cool. Sophie Ware. It's like software, except Sophie. I like it. Joe Cake, Joe Knight, Flitter Days, Starry Cake, Cherry Knight, Flitter Days. What? Cherry Cake. Wait, what? Emmanuel Sylvia Chipperot. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. And Main Days. So thank you guys so much for adding me. I will add you guys as soon as this episode is done and wrapped up. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic day. If you have differing opinions on the this week's episodes, which I know I got into a whole lot more than I usually do, and that's just because I had a lot to say about this episode, but if you have differing opinions, then feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will take a look at them and read them, and maybe I'll even comment and say, hey, that's actually an angle I didn't think about. But anyway, guys, I'm Ultramatic64. If you want to check out the My Little Pony game from Gameloft, then there are a link in the description down below for the iOS, Android, and Amazon versions. If you want to add me on Gameloft's sick, cool friendship thing, my code is 0145. That's 0145. But anyway, guys, I'm Ultramatic64. Remember, don't feel as parasprites. Always give your ponies second prances, because they love to prance around and stuff like that, and that's good for them. It's good exercise. Keeps them fit. And happy gaming. I'll catch you guys on the flip side with more pony content in the future. Bye-bye.